Yo, your boy's back with the most unprecedented breakdown in hip-hop history. And I'm telling you right now,
any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him.
Oh my God!
His career is over. I love him, but it might be done.
You remember when you had fun? Y'all wanted to dance, right?
what we're about to discuss is so shocking, so pathetic, so completely against everything hip-hop stands for that you might not even believe it's real.
Right.
Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us was so devastating, so absolutely crushing, that Drake did something no rapper has ever done in the history of hip-hop beef. He ran to court instead of the studio. This ain't just winning a battle, this is breaking your opponent so hard they abandon hip-hop completely. Let me put this in perspective for y'all. When Ice Cube destroyed NWA with No Vaseline, they didn't call lawyers, they called it quits. When Nas ethered Jay-Z with Ether, Hove didn't file lawsuits, he came back with Takeover and Super Ugly. When 50 Cent demolished Ja Rule, Ja didn't run to his attorney, he tried to respond with music. But Drake, this man heard Kendrick's bars and said, "Get me my attorney, get me my legal team. I need lawyers, not producers." The desperation is unreal. The weakness is unprecedented. The violation of hip-hop culture is complete. If you're ready to witness the most pathetic response in rap history, we about to expose how one song broke a man's spirit so bad he forgot he was supposed to be a rapper. We talking about the moment Drake officially became the laughingstock of hip-hop. The moment he proved everything Kendrick said about him was true. This is not just about losing a beef. This is about abandoning the culture entirely. This is about showing the world that when the pressure got real, Drake ran to the system instead of standing on his own bars. This is historic levels of weakness. Now, before we get into the absolute humiliation, let me school y'all on the unwritten rules of hip-hop beef that Drake just obliterated. Because what Drake did wasn't just weak, it was a violation of everything hip-hop has stood for since its inception. For 50 years, since the birth of this culture in the Bronx in the 1970s, rappers have settled disputes with bars, not briefs, with lyrics, not litigation, with creativity, not court cases. This is a fundamental principle of hip-hop culture that has been respected by everybody until Drake. Let me take you through hip-hop history so you understand just how unprecedented Drake's move was. From the Cold Crush brothers battling the Fantastic Five in the early 80s to Kendrick Lamar destroying Drake in 2024, the rule has been simple. You get dissed, you diss back. You don't call your lawyer, you call your producer. The Roxanne Wars in the 1980s. UTFO dropped Roxanne Roxanne, and then Roxanne Shante responded with Roxanne's Revenge. Did anybody file a lawsuit? No, they handled it with bars. The Bridge Wars. KRS-One and Boogie Down Productions went at MC Shan and the Juice Crew. The Bridge is Over was brutal. Did MC Shan sue? No, he tried to respond with music. LL Cool J versus Kool Moe Dee. They went back and forth for years. How You Like Me Now, Jack the Ripper, Let's Go. Did either of them call their lawyers? Never. They settled it with skill. Tupac didn't sue Biggie over Who Shot Ya. He dropped Hit 'Em Up, one of the most vicious diss tracks ever made. He didn't file a defamation lawsuit, he got in the booth and went harder. Eazy-E didn't take Ice Cube to court over No Vaseline. He got back in the studio and tried to respond. He didn't win, but at least he tried to handle it the hip-hop way. Jay-Z and Nas, Takeover and Ether, one of the most legendary beefs in hip-hop history. Did either of them sue each other? No, they battled with bars and eventually squashed it like men. 50 Cent versus Ja Rule. 50 absolutely destroyed Ja Rule's career with diss tracks. Wanksta, Back Down, Piggy Bank. Did Ja Rule sue? No, he tried to respond with music, he lost, but he never abandoned the culture. Eminem versus everybody. M has dissed hundreds of people in his career. Mariah Carey, Nick Cannon, Machine Gun Kelly, Benzino, Ja Rule, Cannabis, the list goes on. Did any of them successfully sue him? No, because diss tracks are part of hip-hop culture. LL Cool J versus Cannabis. Second round KO versus The Ripper Strikes Back. LL Cool J didn't take Cannabis to court. He destroyed him with bars so hard that Cannabis's career never recovered. Common versus Ice Cube. The Bitch in You. Did Ice Cube sue? No, he responded with music.
The Cali flow is crazy.
Oh, this is some real West Coast coming together shit. I love to see it.
Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that helped to school with him.
Certified boogeyman, quit playing.
Yeah, he's being
This is hip-hop culture. This is how we've always handled business. For 50 years, across every era, through every generation, the rule has been the same. You handle beef with music.
And Baka got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified pedophiles.
Certified lover boy, certified what?
Certified petty. And if y'all enjoying this, make sure y'all hit that like and hype button. I'm gonna give y'all my breakdown at the end. You know, I don't like to hold y'all. Let's get right back into it.
Certified pedophiles.
Certified pedophiles is crazy.
Bro, he's coming crazy with that pedophile ass.
Bro, that's what I'm
insane.
saying. He is stepping on this nigga face.
Boy, I want to crip walk so damn bad. I got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover.
But Drake just became the first major rapper in hip-hop history to wave the white flag in a courtroom. This man really said, I can't beat Kendrick with bars, so let me try to beat him with lawyers. The audacity is unbelievable. The weakness is unprecedented. The cultural violation is complete. And here's what makes it even more pathetic. Drake has been in beefs before. He responded to Meek Mill with Back to Back. He responded to Pusha T by just moving on. He's
cool
been in
when
the
he
game
won.
long enough to know the rules. But when Kendrick came with Not Like Us, Drake broke. This wasn't ignorance, this was desperation. This wasn't strategy, this was panic. Drake knew the rules and he violated them anyway because he was so broken by Kendrick's track that he abandoned hip-hop principles entirely. Now let me break down the levels of desperation Drake showed with this lawsuit, because this wasn't just one weak move, this was multiple layers of pathetic behavior stacked on top of each other. December 2024, just months after Not Like Us destroyed his reputation, Drake files not one, but two legal actions. First, he files a pre-action petition in New York. Then he files another one in Texas. This man was so desperate, he was filing legal documents in multiple states. But here's where it gets even more pathetic. Drake didn't even have the courage to sue Kendrick directly. He went after Universal Music Group and Spotify, his own label and the streaming platform. This man was so scared of Kendrick, he couldn't even name him as the primary defendant. The New York petition claimed that UMG and Spotify artificially inflated the streams of Not Like Us using bots and payola. Drake was literally arguing that the only reason Kendrick's diss track was successful was because of manipulation. Not because it was a better song, not because the culture supported it, but because of bots. The Texas petition claimed defamation. Drake argued that Not Like Us contained false statements that damaged his reputation. Specifically, he was upset about Kendrick calling him a pedophile. But here's the thing, diss tracks have always contained exaggerated insults. That's the nature of battle rap. Y'all, this is the same Drake who bragged about his streaming numbers for years. This is the same Drake who celebrated breaking records on Spotify. This is the same Drake who used streaming dominance as proof of his superiority. Now suddenly streaming manipulation is a problem, only when Kendrick is getting the numbers. The hypocrisy is staggering. Drake was perfectly fine with the streaming system when it was working in his favor, but the moment Kendrick beats him at his own game, suddenly the system is rigged. The desperation is obvious. Legal experts immediately called these cases weak. Entertainment lawyers across the country were laughing at Drake's legal strategy. One lawyer told Billboard, and I quote, "This is like suing someone for saying you're ugly. It's opinion, not fact." Another lawyer said, "Diss tracks are protected speech under the First Amendment. Drake has almost no chance of winning." The legal community was unanimous. These cases were going nowhere. Drake was wasting his money on lawyers who knew they couldn't win. But he filed them anyway because he was so desperate to do something, anything, to stop the damage Not Like Us was doing to his reputation. And here's the most pathetic part. The legal filings themselves became evidence of Drake's defeat. His lawyers had to quote Kendrick's lyrics in the court documents. They had to type out lines like certified pedophile in official legal filings. Imagine being so defeated that you pay lawyers thousands of dollars to transcribe your own humiliation. Drake literally paid his legal team to document Kendrick's disses in court records that will be public forever. The irony is incredible. The hip-hop community's response was immediate and brutal. And I'm not just talking about Kendrick's fans, I'm talking about everybody. Even Drake's own supporters couldn't defend this weak move. Fat Joe, who's usually diplomatic and tries to stay neutral in beefs, went on Instagram Live and said, "You don't sue over rap beef, you rap back. This is not what we do in hip-hop." And Fat Joe has been in the game for decades. He knows the culture. Charlamagne on The Breakfast Club called it the most un-hip-hop thing ever. He said, "Drake just proved everything Kendrick said about him. He's not like us. Real hip-hop artists don't run to lawyers." DJ Akademiks, who has been one of Drake's biggest defenders for years, even he couldn't support this move. He said on stream, "This ain't it, bro. I love Drake, but this is not the way. You gotta respond with music."
How many stocks do I really have in stock? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5?
This is 5 disses, right? He's got another 5.
I'm gonna keep dropping and dropping and dropping on you before you can even process this and respond. I'm back with another diss track.
Joe Budden, who's been critical of Drake before, went off on his podcast. He said, "Drake just committed career suicide. You can't come back from this. The culture will never respect you again." The culture was united in rejecting this approach.
Wait, why am I in this shit? I'm getting sued?
So this is how we're starting off the new year.
Drake, there's no way I'm reading what I'm reading right now, dog.
Drake is going ahead and filed a lawsuit against his own record company
over Kendrick's Grammy-nominated diss track, Not Like Us.
Last night, it was announced that Drake actually withdrew those petitions, right? And so streets were saying like, okay, maybe he's coming to his senses. Oh, that was silly of him to do, right? Fast forward to today.
Drake has now decided that he's going to use reactors as evidence in his Kendrick Lamar case.
One of the biggest artists in the world is salty because YouTubers are reacting to songs.
I've never seen a nigga rebrand a lawsuit. Look at this shit.
Let me pull this up.
Drake alleges in a lawsuit that UMG permitted content creators such as
Zias, No Life Shack, RDC Gaming, and Cartier Family. RDC!
Then you got me up there third.
To monetize reactions to Not Like Us without enforcing copyrights.
Actually, we did get a copyright claim, and then he took them off.
he claims that the lack of enforcement enabled the spread of defamatory content
While generating profits for both UMG and the creators.
prioritizing revenue over Drake's safety.
Okay, safe. There we go. His life was at stake in a rap beef.
You think niggas was clowning you before this?
Certified Pussy Boy preview.
Oh, Lord.
Paving this shit crazy.
Okay, B-Lou, go crazy, bro.
When he goes to the reactors.
Say OV ho, OV ho, say OV ho, OV ho, say OV ho, OV ho, OV ho.
The culture was united in rejecting this approach. It didn't matter if you were Team Drake or Team Kendrick before. Everybody agreed that suing over a diss track was weak. Twitter exploded with memes calling Drake Lawbry instead of Aubrey, Champagne Litigation instead of Champagne Poppy, the sixth lawyer instead of the sixth god. The jokes were endless. TikTok was flooded with videos mocking his legal strategy. People were making skits of Drake calling his lawyer instead of his producer. Yo, I need a beat. No, I need a brief. The mockery was relentless. Instagram was full of memes showing Drake in a courtroom instead of a recording booth. Pictures of him with a briefcase instead of a microphone. The internet was clowning him. Even casual hip-hop fans who don't usually care about beef were making fun of Drake. People who had never posted about rap beef before were posting about how weak this move was. The consensus was universal. The Breakfast Club dedicated an entire segment to explaining why this violated hip-hop's core principles. Charlemagne, DJ Envy, and Jess Hilarious all agreed. This was the weakest move they'd ever seen in hip-hop. Hot 97 had entertainment lawyers on air explaining why the case was doomed to fail. Ebro and Rosenberg were breaking down how this was not only weak, but also stupid because Drake had no chance of winning. Every major hip-hop platform was unanimous. Drake had crossed a line that should never be crossed. Complex, XXL, The Source, Hip Hop DX, Pitchfork. Every publication was criticizing Drake's decision. Hip hop podcasts across the board were roasting Drake. The Joe Budden podcast, Drink Champs, $1 million worth of game, All the Smoke. Everybody was saying the same thing. This is not hip hop. This is weak.
This ain't how you do it, bro.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you.
Come on, Pug. Touch me now, Sue.
And here's what made it even worse. Older hip-hop legends started speaking out. Artists who had been in real beefs, who had handled their business the right way, they were all disappointed in Drake. Ice Cube, who wrote No Vaseline, one of the most vicious diss tracks ever, he commented on it. He didn't say much, but his message was clear. This is not how you handle beef. The culture's message was loud and clear. Drake had violated the unwritten rules of hip-hop. He had shown that he was never really part of the culture. He was a tourist who ran back to the corporate world when things got real. Here's where Drake's legal strategy became a complete disaster. Instead of stopping Kendrick or protecting his reputation, the lawsuit made Not Like Us even more legendary. Drake literally made things worse for himself. The Streisand effect kicked in immediately. For those who don't know, the Streisand effect is when trying to hide or suppress something actually makes it more popular. And that's exactly what happened with Drake's lawsuit. Mainstream media outlets that had never covered rap beef were suddenly writing articles about Drake's lawsuit. CNN had segments about it. Fox News covered it. The Wall Street Journal wrote about it. The New York Times published an analysis. Drake turned a hip-hop beef into national news. People who had never heard of Not Like Us were now searching for it. Google searches for the track spiked 400% after the lawsuit was announced. Spotify streams increased. YouTube views went up. Drake literally gave Kendrick free promotion. The lawsuit filing became a news story bigger than the original diss track. Publications that don't normally cover hip-hop were writing think pieces about Drake's legal strategy. Business magazines were analyzing the implications. Legal journals were discussing the case. And all of this attention brought more people to Not Like Us.
And this the thing, y'all. And this the part where I'm gonna give y'all my breakdown at the end. Shout out my man Mike Drop TV. It's your boy Jet Ski G. We back with another banger. When we gotta remember, Drake is a rich kid from a rich area in Toronto who grew up with a Jewish mom who I'm sure understood music, understood money, and understood, you know, how to manipulate the culture. He didn't grow up with his black dad from the States, and he didn't even like his black dad. He had nothing black about him, so he doesn't understand the culture. And I'm gonna tell you why he didn't understand the culture. He didn't understand that going at reactors is like the streets on the internet. Like, it's the streets in real life, but on the internet, when it comes to music, it's the reactors who the streets. Right now, I would say it's the reactors / the streamers. That's the streets right now. They control, you know, like the kids' attention and stuff like that. And then, like, you're the star above all that. So what he did was, when he put the reactors in the lawsuit, he lost the streets of the internet. So now the internet is clowning you. The internet is going at you. All of the reactors are feeling some type of way. So then all of the content creators started making videos about you. They started making videos nonstop. Like, you can go on my page and I got a video called The OVO Sweatshop where it breaks down what he did to all of his artists in the background. We didn't know all this stuff. But now we have people writing think pieces about you because you didn't understand the streets. Why? Because you're not even from them. You're not even from the internet streets. You're just a white kid from Toronto that grew up with a Jewish mom who was a child actor, who went to child acting school, who did blackface because he wanted to fit in with other white kids and he didn't like his black heritage. And then one day you woke up and said, yo, I want to be a rapper and I want to manipulate black people to believe that I'm actually from the streets and do music like Started from the Bottom. You grew up with your Jewish mom, and then one day you said, I want to manipulate black people, which is, you know, your choice, but which is crazy when you think about it. So make sure y'all drop a like, a hype, and a comment. Let me know what y'all think about this. Not Like Us to this day is now in history as the greatest diss track ever. I don't believe it'll ever be topped. It's to the point where it's being studied in colleges. It'll never be topped. What we seen was a falling star in real time. It's your boy Jet Ski G. If ain't nobody told you they love y'all, you know I love y'all. Also, I'm gonna drop a banger right here. This banger right here is gonna be yesterday's upload. It's actually part 1 of this video of Not Like Us and how the industry actually reacted, all the celebrities and everything. Click this video right here. I'm gonna catch y'all in this video. I'm out, y'all.